So this one is kind of interesting. It's talking about like what have you spent your money on when you got the baddest checks? Like when you got like everything coming to you at once and you're like, I have the ability to really make it for myself or to really like free this energy of just like, guess what? We jump into another level. Like we are not doing the devil's night tonight. That's playing on and we got like all these different algorithms and acceptance of accordingly this is gonna happen. Like it's just like uh, when we have all this like money, it's not called income. It's like all this like we have we passed on the gratitude to other people that we had. Like that was when we were just like uh look at the face on the dollar bill and look at the pyramids, look at like in God we trust, and then we're just like, yeah, I'll be Christian for this, for like the moments that is really gonna take it to the next level. And uh it's like so we are the ones who are saying thank you to the clerks when we're paying for something that we wanted to get. And then what it matters for that is that like we are getting something that can then like siphon through that gratitude that we got and like pour it and like bounce it off, and then it just like goes in a different direction, right? So kind of like when you put a mirror in front of the light and then the light like reflects in a new way, and it's just like so we're like staying young, staying fresh, staying hip, staying hop, staying all this that you got. And I'm just like so we have like these thank yous. It's just like, yeah, we trust the guy who we're telling him to make something good for themselves and to actually have some like some of that gratitude that we're passing on is just going to be like good. They're going to say their prayers, they're going to say their grace, they're going to say their trust, they're going to say their honor. And especially the trust is like a good stopping point to say like we're ending things right there. And we can like kind of like make a path out for all those that like we were told like, oh, you're too small, oh, you're too uh young, like all this like we know that that is something that's going off to the side, going back to the curb, going back to the like the places where we're not tripping, we're not falling, and just like, we like, don't have to like make a point to prove that we can like express ourselves or explore or make an example or to have uh, more situations come up where we are like holier than thou or like, like just like really just this holier than thou thing are really like I don't want to play a fool's game and say that it's going to help you, but it makes the appearance that it would, and then it's just kind of like crumples, it just kind of like falls apart, and so that's off to the side, and it's just like we learn from each other, right? But that is just like that's like hidden, that's like we put that so far away from us, like it's not even in the sight, like all of this, the sight, like it could be said that it was so important. It could be said that if you bring it to your house and you can look at it, that it makes it so that it's more valuable or more mattering. It's just like it doesn't. This stuff, it's like it falls apart. So it's really just like what is on your mind, like that's like the biggest thing. And that's why I'm just like, oh yeah, Facebook that, like just like make a post, put a little song, make a little reel, just like be alive for once. But it's just like you can't like all this like I'm saying like we make our way from like the communication does so much to get us to this place where we can like superpower and like go hyper, go excited, all the joy is ours. And then we see that like it takes itself apart as it goes away from the places that would be to damage it, to like put it in a scrap mode. And so we look like it's not much further to go to where there is a parking spot or a garden, or something that would be like, yeah, hey, let's set up, have a picnic here, like, uh, it's just like these places that we go and we have a good time, and we are really like, this is the perfect moment for me to be able to like relax and renew myself and just like really feel like I'm getting back the energy that was borrowed from me. And it's like the lessons that people said they were going to teach me, I can go back and say that I am a graduate of all of this, and I have like a protected, like, this earth, this globe, this like planet that we're on. And then say like you were like one of the explorers. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. That's a big thing that money does for me, and I just really feel like it would be a success story for other people to really just take their participation and put it off to the side and see, like, because like when you have something that's working for you, it's like begging to be back in the middle, right? And then you're like, oh, it was that thing that I really wanted. You just like, you really like, even if you lose something, even if it goes in a place where you can't really find it and you can't really make the best use of it, it's still like we already have like these paths that we have like been creating the entire time that we've been doing the work for people. And we've been creating every time that we are like, okay, now it's time to find the comfort. Like each step that we do, like each like sidewalk of understanding that we walk on, and we go, and we're not really walking on it, are we? But it's as like they have been so in prayer and trying to find grace and trying to find where can they get their zen moments and where can they get their ultimate answers of satisfaction. And it's just like, so pick up some of the pieces, and it's just like there's like this whole sanctity of inspiration that just keeps like sending messages to us so that we can like respond with our mind. And it's just like the big thing for me to recognize is that like I have this in the daytime when I am like really focused on who's going to be my friend for this and who's going to be leaving me alone for this. And it's just like the combination of this, right? Because it's just like my friends will understand when I have to go somewhere that I need to do this alone. And then they'll understand that they're still there even when I'm alone, because there is still one of those messages that we send in our mind. And I'm just like, if I am like providing like, oh, there's roses, there's cakes, there's just like, I'm giving you this gift, this offering, and it's just like whatever else was going on, we still know that we have this for each other. And it's just like, what even you don't have to know, there's all these things that is like, people were talking to me about like sending messages about things that I was like, oh, I don't think I gave my permission to say that sort of thing. And look, they're talking about me. And I'm just like, so I could really say they need to work on their mental health a little bit, and they need to go to therapy and just like explain for themselves, like, what is it that made them feel that they had to like go for someone else's energy? Because it's just like, I would have so many different things above that. So it's just like the wall is built though. It's like very solid, it's very stable, it's very like you even got fans going for when there's like some sort of like disruption to it. It's just like I have like this great feeling about what each day is going to bring me. And I am like, this is coming back to like when we earned our independence and then we say, yeah, I'm 21, I can go drink. Like all that, like my people that I am trusting already know that like they don't need to know everything about this, but they do have like this greatness is shared with them, and like they are ready to take the next level, and they're ready to take, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Like this is just like if they've been working on the same sort of thing, but it's their place is somewhere else. It's not my right to say that it's separate, okay? I'm like crossing over to say that, but it's like if we have uh this appreciation goes beyond, then it's really just like that is really like where we're getting like our extra, like like we're making a new path for this, like so could go talking about like the tunnels that were made for people to go and hop on trains, but uh look, I can't find a train out here, so it's more about like it's they just have whenever they can find it, even if it's in the middle of nothing. Uh, they don't stay doing nothing. They don't stay having nothing because what they have decided is that they are connected to something of a belonging, and that's like we don't get our wires crossed in this. We don't get our uh, buttons pressed. Like we're not going around talking about how we're going to do this with no feeling. We go as far as our feeling will let us, and our feeling is eternal, our feeling is divine, our feeling, I could say all this stuff, but like does it even matter when you have something that you just like any way you feel about it, you're still going there. It's just like I could say all this like, oh, I love my boyfriend, I love my friends, and it's just like, yeah, so uh, if that mattered, then I would still be seeing them, I would still be having them in my life. And it's just like recognizing like there is like a literal light transformation fixture. And it's just like so many people could say they can't even see that, but uh, I know when you're here. I know. And it's just like I've been spending so much time in this area where I've been like looking and finding and rediscovering and relighting, and just like it sets me to where I can like smooth ride this, or like bumpy ride this, or just like go on that roller coaster, take my spin and go off, like yeah, but would this be possible without money? You talk about the word without, and it's just like you had with and then you had out. So it's just like something is like sprouting or sprinkling or just like bursting out, and it's just like, yeah, so what is any of that, you know? You have like, uh, this is something that comes from so much protection and so much security that it's like you can't just sit around and call it temporary for longer. You can't.